Hello everyone, Sean Broccoli here. In today's video we will be doing Trial 4 for Fuka and Desco's show on Disgaea 4 Complete Plus. So let's get started with Stage 1. So the Stage 1, it's going to be a fairly straightforward map. You got like a cross pattern map, and you're going to start off in the middle with the base panel in the middle, and it's surrounded by geo panels with the bye-bye area effect. So what that does is if you end your turn on those panels, you die. Now, that's going to happen for both yourself and the enemy. So, what you'll want to do is to start off, I like to head to the left and clear out the enemies that way. And basically what will happen is the enemies will start moving towards you, and they will spawn in from the base panels as well at the end of their turn, or at the end of your turn. So in my strategy, I like to just sit back and let them come to me. I mean, you could get aggressive and push forward. Obviously, that's going to require you to have some pretty strong characters. I believe mine are kind of under-leveled for this. But anyways, you'll also notice that to the, I guess, at the bottom area, you'll see the two geo blocks. You can also destroy the one that's the that gives it the bye-bye effect, or maybe just pick it up and throw it off, and then that'll get rid of it. But I opt to keep it because you can actually use it to your advantage here. So what you're going to see me do is I will bring out my team. We'll move over to the back of the map, and we'll just kind of sit there and let the enemies come to us, and we'll kill them as they come. Eventually, all the enemies that were on the map by default, we'll kill them all. But obviously, with the base panels being where they are, there's always going to be more enemies spawning in. So we're not going to worry too much about the new enemies coming in, because basically, because of the movement range of the biosuits, a lot of the times they will come forward and they will stop on the red geo panels, and then they will end their turn and they will blow up. So what you'll want to do is continue moving all the way to the back. You kind of want to make sure that when they do get into the panel, you want to be out of range for them to attack, so they're kind of just ending their turn on the panels and not doing anything. So by moving to the back of the map, the enemies will still come towards us, but we won't be within range of the ones that are moving from the base panels to the bye-bye panels. So we will prevent taking damage from those guys, and we can just focus on the enemies that were already on the map to begin with. So as far as this map goes, that's pretty much all you're going to do. Just clear out the left side, let everybody on the map come to you, and then at a certain point, once you've cleared out the default enemies, all the new ones spawning at the base will just run to the panels, stop, blow up, and then you kind of just rinse and repeat until there's no more reinforcements coming out of the panels.
Disappear. God, bless me.
to bust some balls!
Alright, so let's do stage 2 now. So this one I kind of lost the recording for, so I re-recorded with more a recent one. Unfortunately, my people are overpowered, and the enemies are going to be much higher level in this one as well. So just kind of, I guess, adapt to it. So they should be level 230 in your playthrough, assuming you're playing it right after beating the game. So what I typically do is I send out my team of probably not all 10 at once, but I send out the first group and I will attack from a range. I usually put a Measle at the top. I'll send out Desco for either a Yogg Sloth or a True Godly Weapon. You do want to have those upgraded. And then Tyrant Valvatores as well with the Demon Emperor. Now, the Demon Emperor doesn't do that a ton of damage. The Bloodsting does more, but obviously you only focus on one enemy compared to the multiple. Um, so what I do recommend before attempting this, I do recommend you have your characters at least close to level 200. And even at that point, you'll want to at least upgrade your equipment. You want to get it to at least the basic stuff to level 35, and then you can go from there. That'll definitely help you out a lot. But what you want to do is you kind of want to line up your troops. The ones with the big powerful attacks you send up front, and you send everything at them at once. And then you can start bringing in some of the other guys. What I like to do is keep everybody kind of separate, because they do have some large area of attacks, the ones that'll hit multiple characters, so you want to keep those guys separate. I usually send 2 people off to the side, somewhere on the sidewalks on each side. I'll probably throw another 2 further off, probably like around the recycling bins or dumpsters kind of thing. And then just slowly move up. You kind of want to surround them. Try focusing on, rather than damaging all the Prism Rangers at once, if you have the option, focus on the weakest one and make sure you take them out. And then that way you're dwindling down their numbers and they're not going to be doing as much damage to you. So now we'll kind of move on to the next one. This one is, again, going to have the same problems where the enemies are going to be more powerful than you're going to see them. They'll probably be around level 200. Anyways, I typically don't like to go too far past the wall. If you have characters who can jump the wall, have them jump on the wall and attack the guys here. You'll want the large scale attacks like the Rune Dimension, which you'll see me use. Since mine's overpowered, I will kill them in one hit. Yours probably won't. But it's possible you could if you have your items upgraded. For the rest of the... Now, at the same time, my characters, I didn't have a lot that could jump the wall, so I typically had my people stay behind the wall. Now, you're going to want to try to separate them as much as possible. Obviously, as somebody who's used Fuka, you should know her attacks, kind of know what the patterns are. She's obviously going to use the RIP move a lot. She does tend to use Destroyer as well, and then you want to avoid the Pretty X move, because that one is going to destroy you. I do believe Fuka has I can't recall what her weakness was. I think it might have been ice. Don't quote me on that one, but She should have a weakness. Exploit it with your mages. Again, if you keep the mages at the back, they should more or less be safe for a couple turns. If you do have, like, if you're, I guess, confident enough, you can send some of your strong characters over the wall. Like, if you want to do like Tyrant Valvatores or Valvatores, maybe Stella, the ones that have the large area of attack with like Rune Dimension or um, Demon Emperor, stuff like that, you could probably do a ton of damage to a bunch of them at once, maybe take out a couple. Um, as far as that goes, there's not much else to go over. There are some I mean, you could try to get to the Geoblocks and get rid of the enemy boost. You might see the parts of the Geoblocks in a couple of the. Um, I had a couple moments, I guess, but it's kind of far to get there, and there's a ton of Fuka enemies, so you don't really want to probably risk it. So for the most part, I do recommend you just kind of sit behind the wall and let them come to you. Obviously, the only downside of that is you have such small area to work with. It's hard to spread yourself out and avoid those large scale attacks, I guess. Alright, so stage 4 is going to be a difficult one. So this is back to, I guess, my regular playthrough. I did not have to recreate this one. So you're going to start off, there's going to be a bunch of Fukas in front of you. Then there'll be some of those androids well as biosuits. And then in the middle, there's Desex, and she's surrounded by geopanels that are going to increase her level every turn. So you kind of want to have some urgency when getting to those geoblocks. So the first thing I like to do is I like to send out my strongest characters, and we want to pretty much try and take out all the Fukas in one turn. We don't want to keep them alive because they're just going to cause us a lot of grief, and they're going to keep us kind of in this area longer than we want to be. So the first turn, you're going to focus on the Fukas. If you do have the medic at this point, I do recommend that you perhaps maybe utilize her to get an extra attack in. She has the that one special move that allows you to attack or move a second time. So go ahead and abuse that. So the first thing you'll want to do, you'll probably have to wait till your second turn, but you want to go up to that green geoblock and you want to destroy it. Or I guess you could throw it away too. It doesn't really matter. And then from there you want to work at destroying all the little minions. and as well as the geo blocks. If you have the if you have the opportunity to just to use one of the large area of attacks that'll hit both the enemy and the minions, by all means do that and kill two birds with one stone. But for the most part, you're going to have to slowly work your way up. Uh, don't, I mean, obviously you need to have some urgency, but you don't want to push things too far and end up having your characters die. So usually, once you get close enough, Desex, sorry, will typically move off. Now she's extremely powerful and she will probably one-shot a lot of your characters, at least the weaker ones. So watch out for that. You also have to keep in mind that she does have all of Desco's moves again, so keep your team spread out. You also have to watch out for a lot of these gun users, as they will attack more of your characters at once if they have that option. But basically, what I like to do is I'll take maybe like Tyrant Valvatores, which he obviously by now you probably know how overpowered he is and how easy he is to use. So I usually will brute force my way through a lot of the enemies with him, ignoring Desex. Do have a healer out at once you've cleared the brick zone, and then that way, if anybody gets damaged, you can move them towards the healer, heal up, move them back, and then do whatever you need to do with that character. So you want to have it so that just Desex is left. Obviously, as long as your characters are separated, you should have a decent amount of them left. You want to have your strongest fighters obviously still alive. Hopefully your strongest ones can withstand an attack from Desex. But at this point you want to kind of surround her and use your most powerful skills. So with the warrior, use God Scraper, Tyrant Valvatores, Blood Sting, Valvatores. You could use any of his B level spells. Maybe go for a Rune Dimension if you want to attack from range. Desco True Godly Weapon is probably the best one, just because of depending on how much it's upgraded, it's probably going to be less SP than Yogg Sloth. But at the end of the day, you just want to throw everything you got at Desex, while at the same time just keeping your distance from other allies, so she doesn't use True Godly Weapon or Yogg Sloth. So pretty much just keep your allies at least more than 3 squares away in either direction. And then the other thing to watch out for is if you put 2 characters around her, she can move away and use the final weapon arises or something like that, whatever it's called. Final boss arises, and that will one-shot even your strongest characters most likely. If you have the chance to surround her at all 4 directions, you can go ahead and do that. At that point, I don't think she can do anything. She might be able to use True Godly Weapon, but I don't know if she can do that with her in the middle. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. You kind of just don't want her to... You just want to make sure she doesn't level up as too much, or else she'll be too powerful for you to handle, unless you're overpowered. And I guess that will do it for the Fuka and Desco show guide. If you like the content here, go ahead and like and subscribe. Other than that, this is Sean Broccoli. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
together.